Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. Yes, so tonight I thought I'd talk about the obstacles to meditation. We come to meditate, we want to be peaceful, we want to be quiet, and to still the mind. And why is it that the mind doesn't become peaceful? And why is it to be yourself to different things? And basically the Buddha gave 5 different ways that why the mind isn't quiet. And these are called the 5 hindrances you might have read about. First is kamachanda, which is sensual desires. Number 2 is vyapada, which is ill will, irritation. Third is sloth and torpor, just sleepiness, lies in the mind. 4th is restlessness and remorse. The 5th is doubt. So these are the different forces that express itself. Unless you become fully enlightened, they're usually one of those. So when the mind isn't peaceful, instead of kind of get annoyed, blame yourself, it's good to investigate. Which hindrances, what obstacles am I working with? And usually each of these hindrances, each of these obstacles have an antidote that you can apply as a technique. And it goes back to what I was saying in terms of the monastic life, being a monk. It's a trade, it's a craft. And there are different ways, different tools you can use to approach your practice. So it's not just a banging away at the breath day in, day out. It's not just a banging away at the mantra or just thinking about certain things. It's this kind of reflection, what's happening right now and what should I do to counteract or to incline the mind towards wholesome states. Okay? So it's always a cultivation of wholesome states or letting go of unwholesome states. And it takes this clarity, it takes this awareness in the present moment. Okay? And that's the thing. The untrained mind sometimes, peace, stillness, compassion, clarity, it's not naturally in the mind if you're not enlightened. It's just the opposite. Irritation, anger, jealousy, anxieties, those are normally in the mind. So you want the mind to be more peaceful, it's a bit of training, a bit of kind of direction, a bit of guidance towards the mind. And learning to work with this mind instead of just identifying with it or resisting it, suppressing it. Just trying to work, okay, what these forces in the mind, how can I cultivate more wholesome states of mind? Right? So the first is sensual desire. And that's pretty straightforward in one sense. It's wanting something. Sitting here and you're thinking, I'd like to have it's too cold, you want to be in your bed, I want to be in bed right now. You have sense of desire, sitting here is a bit cold, a bit hot. You want to be somewhere else. Yeah, so you have any desires, craving, and then it shoots the mind away from the present moment and disturbs the mind. Right? Thinking about lunch, thinking when you have, thinking about the lunch the day before, that's your thing, about food, or just remembering some memories, the past time you had, the relationship, the friends, experiences you had. Yeah, that always takes you away from the present moment as well. So when you're sitting here and the mind has some craving, mind has desires, the antidote to that is just, gratitude and contentment. This is good enough, whatever it is. It's too cold, yes, this is good enough. Body's healthy enough. The breath is good enough. Doesn't have to be a perfect breath. Your mindfulness is good enough. So just be aware. Yeah? Try to steer the mind back to the present moment. Just keep yourself, whatever's happening, it's good enough. You don't have to have a perfect posture. You don't have to be full lotus to be meditating. You don't have to have, the high energy to meditate. Just whatever state of mind, whatever whatever state the body is, it's good enough. You can still focus on your meditation object. Okay? And bring awareness to what's happening. So the antidote to kind of the desires is usually a bit of contentment, a bit of gratitude for whatever is happening already, whatever you have. So that's the sense of desire. And it comes up, first two comes up a lot, sense of desire and ill will. You're sitting here, and like I said, it's too cold, so you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here, then the mind shifts up to somewhere else. Sometimes we get a few months ago, it just gets very hot sometimes. So this is really, really hot. I don't want to be here, this is really stupid. Why am I sitting here so hot? I should be somewhere else doing walking meditation or something. Doing some, walking around the monastery. We should have the fan on, or we should have aircon. So the mind starts to proliferate about different things, how to make things more comfortable. You might be sitting here, trying to watch the breath, but then irritation arises, remembering the argument you had with somebody in the kitchen. Different things that. So it brings up irritation. So it moves the mind away from the present moment as well. So with irritation, with anger, ill will, a bit of acceptance, a bit of metta, a bit of kindness, forgiveness, letting go. These things happen, Although everybody tries their best to have the purest intention of coming, wanting to train ourselves, we all have our issues that we bring with us. We have how, kind of in the rebel. Yes, I want to train, but I want to train my way. Buddha is good, but no, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be full, enlightened, and I'll get married. Or whatever. Start writing my own books. Ajahn Chah's good, but no, I know what I'm doing. So this kind of sense of self in a rebel, and it's normal. Each and everyone has it. So it takes this kind of attitude of openness, attitude of kind of humility, just appreciating, kind of the goodness, the wisdom of the teachers ahead of us. It's a bit of giving the teaching, the teachers, the benefit of the doubt. That the Buddha was fully enlightened. He knew what he was doing. He was teacher of gods and humans. But he can teach. But he's the trainer of those who wants to be trained. So he can't teach people who don't want to be trained. So the teachings he left behind are good. Ajahn Chah was also a fully enlightened teacher. What he had to say is important. Sometimes it may not be exciting, but it's important and it's useful. On my own path, I don't know, I never had the desire to look around too much. And I think that the thing is, after a while, when your meditation starts to become more quiet, the mind's become more clear, there's no need. Yes, there are teachers in other traditions are very good. There are many ways to the top of the mountain, many ways to practice. But if the practice you're doing is yielding results, is bringing you peace and stillness, bringing clarity, a sense of well-being, why bother looking around? I never had the need to look around. Even when I started teaching, people said, you should acquaint yourself with the Tibetan teachings and you should acquaint yourself with the Zen. That way you can answer questions or people pose, because everybody comes from different traditions. I wasn't very keen on that approach. My approach is like, Thai forest tradition, Ajahn Chah, this is what I know, this is what I can offer. You're not interested in that? Fine. There are other people doing other things. So there's no point being a jack of all trades and being an encyclopedia or Wikipedia or meditation or Buddhism. It's like, people can do that somewhere else. But it's this kind of focus. But it has the contentment. Once you're content, you don't look around. It's a natural cause, natural condition of a still mind, of a content mind. And when the practice starts to unfold, practice starts to come together, faith increases tremendously, gratitude increases. I have so much gratitude for Ajahn Chah, who I never met, for just leaving his teaching behind, for forming the monastery, for teaching the Westerners. So we're going back to ill will, a bit of gratitude, a bit of acceptance, forgiveness. We live in a monastery and we meet together a lot. We live very close proximity. And of course, from time to time, there are different views and opinions. Sometimes we annoy each other. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. But never mind. We accept that. We accept that we annoy each other. We accept we have differences of opinions. But we also try to work with it. We also try to practice letting go, forgiving, allowing things just to pass. Whatever happened, happened. Going back to it, reliving it, getting upset a little bit. Is that going to be? Is that going to bring a sense of peace or happiness? Is that brings a stillness to us? So you see how we use the mind. Yeah. So anger, while it's painful, it's easier to let go because you feel it more. Greed is easy. Greed you can always justify. We should have air conditioners. It's natural. It's silly not to have air conditioner. This is the modern world. We have this and that more convenient stuff. We should have electricity. It's just normal. But anger, usually when anger comes up, it burns the mind. You're mindful. It's the tension in the body. So it's easier to let go. But, it varies as well. There's irritations in different ways, negativity, fault finding. And that comes up naturally because we rub against each other. And it has to do with different states of mind, level of energy. You don't get enough sleep, you're tired, overworked. Then obviously the mind does different things. But it's something and that's why I encourage people, try to do, metta at least once a day. Can radiate, to all beings, but also especially to the people you live with. Because we do rub against each other naturally. That's just what happens when you live together. You rub against each other. You say things, maybe not intentionally, but then you kind of offend people. Well, that's okay. Yeah, trying to move on from that. Yes, an antidote to ill will, irritation, anger. It's a bit of metta, a bit of forgiveness, a bit of acceptance. That, things are the way they are. That's the antidote to ill will that we can apply to the meditation when it comes up. The next one is sloth and torpor. And obviously this is something that we all go through from time to time, especially in the morning sit. Yeah. So this is one to kind of see it as a challenge. See it's not like a failure. It's early morning. Sometimes you're not used to getting up. Then it's going to be a certain amount of sloth and torpor. But to expect it, be aware of it, and have a game plan. Okay, tomorrow I'm sleepy. I'm going to get up and do some walk meditation until I dispel my sloth and torpor. Just don't walk for a few minutes and get bored. I'm going to go sit down and have a good nap. Just walk in until the energy comes up. Because with energy, you have to rouse energy. It doesn't come naturally, especially in the morning. Yeah, you walk. You're going to do it. You're going to bring it up and then maintain that. Yeah? Or just kind of sit with your eyes open and look at the candles or something. That's why we leave the light on a bit more brightness that helps people, to kind of early in the morning. If it's too dark, we just curl into a little ball and have a good snooze. And that's kind of the reason for the early morning sit. It's an opportunity to cultivate energy. And then once the mind is peaceful, actually early morning sits are quite nice, very cool, very quiet. It's a way to start the day. Yeah. But it takes training, it takes getting used to it, but it also takes your interest. It takes you have to do something. It doesn't come naturally. You sit here, dozing away, you sit here for another next 10 years and still doing that. It has to be this kind of, I want to cultivate awake awareness. I want to cultivate mindfulness. I want to cultivate energy. I want to arouse energy, initiate it, and maintain it. Yeah. But also, there are many different, and sometimes sloth and torpor comes from being bored. Doing this meditation for so long, sometimes the meditation is not getting very deep, so you get bored of it. And that's why the mind doesn't want to do that. Yeah, so kind of find a way to arouse interest in the meditation object as well. Yeah. The other one was, trying to find ways to activate the mind. So start to reflect on the teachings that you've heard, you learned, the readings that you have, just thinking about certain theme, anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, instableness, stress, and not so. Not just kind of randomly think, but have a focus. Think about some Dhamma themes that brings up, kind of awareness, that brighten the mind a little bit. The other one was, but also, I think as the mind also slows down. There's two kind of ways, there's two types of sloth and torpor. The first is, you live a very active life. You haven't meditated before. Then when you sit down, it's early in the morning. First thing the mind says, yeah, it must be sleep time, because I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving around. Yeah. Before, the only time I sit down still was when I'm sleeping. Yes, every time I sit, my mind just goes up. So that's getting used to, kind of arousing energy, changing posture, waking up somehow. Pull your ears, wash your face, a bit of stretching, rigorous stretching. Yeah. But the second type of sloth and torpor is when the mind becomes sitting down, becoming still, and you're not quite kind of skilled at kind of steering it towards deeper peace. It's very, the breath becomes very subtle, and then you kind of lose it because mindfulness is not strong enough, and then the mind leads yourself to sleep. But with that kind of sloth and torpor, it's not so bad. It's still very, very peaceful. It's just not very clear. And I think it's just kind of just a nudge more of mindfulness, or just being aware of that you're in that kind of peaceful state, but not very clear. You stay there, and the mind will start to brighten up by itself. Yeah. So the trick is know where you're at in the meditation. It was you're in the initial stage of just not getting used to meditation, not getting used to being still with your eyes closed and you're falling asleep. Then that's when you change posture, do walking meditation, a bit of stretching. But your second stage of where the mind is settling down, but it's not has the clarity. It's just keep turning yourself up before the energy takes off. Then you just stay there long enough. Eventually, slowly, the mind will brighten up by itself. So you're just working with, okay, I'm nodding, that's okay. Just being aware of the nodding, being aware of the mind. And the energy arises naturally. And you'll find, okay, boom. There's brightness, there's clarity, there's energy. And this sloth and torpor is dissipated instantly almost. When the mind is just like you turn on the switch, the mind is bright and it's clear. Yeah, so that's antidote to sloth and torpor. A game plan, being aware, this is my obstacle this week. Okay, I'm going to try to work on it. Not from a sense of selling or a conquer and thing, but just kind of these forces in the mind. How can I incline the mind more wholesome state? How can I engage it more? Otherwise, it's 2 hours that we waste away. But there are times that you obviously are tired, big work project, digging up the roads or something, then the mind just needs more sleep. Fair enough, So you try your different postures, still not working, just go ahead and sit and just lean against the wall and rest. But always, kind of try the other options first before you go lean against the wall and have a rest in the morning. Because when it is habit, when we start having, then the mind slows down more often. So that's sloth and torpor. Fourth is restlessness and remorse. Restlessness and remorse is restlessness anyway. It just comes from our love relationship with the thinking mind. We cherish thoughts in the Western context. My thoughts, my wonderful thoughts and ideas. It's me. Yes, and the more we love it, the more we embrace it, the more it moves. And then, then we don't stay with it. But as we lose interest, as we incline the mind towards more peace, the thoughts are still there, but they're not so interesting. It's like the focus in the middle is the breath or the body. The thoughts are just little things floating around it. And it's fine. As long as you don't veer towards the thought and you focus on that, then the breath disappears and all you're aware of your thinking mind and different things you think about. But it's kind of a balancing act. Just stay in the middle where the body, where the breath is. Thoughts can just be around. They're like little cats who come and wants you to feed them. But you don't feed them, eventually they go away. Sounds kind of mean. Or anything that comes to try to play with you. You don't talk to them. You're like a person, hi, how are you? You walk in the kitchen, someone says, hi, how are you? You don't talk to them after all this. They don't talk to you. They go to somebody else. So it's the same with meditation object. You just focus on the breath. The thoughts are there. And after a while, it just fades away. And it's part of the skill, learning to focus. What you focus on becomes clear, becomes brighter over time. And the rest of the stuff just fades away. So you don't need to push it away, you don't need to suppress it, you don't need to get irritated about the thoughts come up. They're just normal. They're just part of having a mind. Having a thinking mind that we have to think, analyze, talk to others, solve problems. It thinks. And when we think a lot, it bounces, and it comes, obviously it visits us in the meditation. Yeah. So that's normal. That's just part of it. And just know that if that is your kind of hindrance, then also try to reflect on it, try to find different ways to counteract that as well. How do I try to find more peace? Should I do more mantra? Should I try different things? Yeah. So it's just the ability just to always investigate, not take it personally, not taking it as a failure in your part, but to investigate. And this is hindrances at this particular time. It's not always going to be there. Different times, different things will come up. Yeah. So see, it's a challenge. Just kind of work with it. Yeah, work with it. And sometimes you can use thought to steer, or maybe just think about a certain theme. Okay, I don't want to think. Let's just think about a certain theme then, instead of just thinking random thoughts. Or you can practice mindfulness. Just be aware of the thought as well. Okay. Yeah, you can think whatever you want. I'm just going to be aware of what I think. Okay, so to bring some clarity, bring some kind of awareness into it. And so it's just kind of getting sucked up into the storyline, the memories, and the things that comes with it. So that's restlessness. But the second part of restlessness is also remorse. And this comes from not keeping the precept clearly. You go into the kitchen, you have a bite, that comes up meditation. Oh, I should have done that. Yeah, so those things come up. You're not behaving properly, you're doing sneaky things behind people's back, and those things come up to haunt you. And they will create disturbances, guilt, remorse, in the meditation later on. You say things that are, annoy other people, whatever, those things come up, I shouldn't say that. But that's normal. The other thing, when those things come up, first just accept, these things happen. You get your defilements, your greed that comes out, irritation comes out from time to time. But, going forward, you try to kind of be more mindful, be more aware, be more diligent in keeping the ethical conduct, the rules that we agree to. Yeah. And those things, and eventually, that remorse fades away on its own. Yeah, that's why we encourage lay people to keep the 5 precepts, not harming other creatures, not lying, not stealing. Yeah, and the mind just settles down naturally. How to meditate when you're not keeping these precepts? Yeah. And the last is doubt. Yeah. And doubt is, it's kind of also a product of an overactive mind. Yeah. But doubt has its antidote. One is, doing enough reading to understand what Buddha said, doing enough reading to understand what Ajahn Chah said, where truth is, where peace is. But you can never overcome doubt completely until you start practicing. Yeah. When you practice, when you taste peace for yourself and the mind calms down, then you know what peace is. You don't have any doubt. You don't have to need to, when people say something else different, you listen politely, but it might work for you, but I know how my mind works. Yeah, there's no doubt anymore. But you might read about, it tastes like durian, or you might read about a durian, what it tastes like. And people have all views and opinions about it tastes really sweet, it tastes like a mango, it tastes like a buttery, and then you don't know, so you're like, you're trying to take different people's views and opinions about the taste of durian. But once you bite into one, you know for sure. And then you can just listen politely what other people say about it. But I taste of durian, I know what it looks like. I know what it tastes like. Next time I know this is the durian, not a mango, not a mangosteen. Yeah. So and doubt will only disappear as the practice, becomes deeper. As the practice, comes together. You know what peace is. You don't need to convince other people. You don't need to get into an argument how to get there. You know for yourself, what works and what doesn't work. Okay? And once the practice comes together, you have a tremendous faith in the path. Faith in the teaching of the Buddha, teaching of the enlightened masters. You went to those places for yourself. And you have immense gratitude, really, for these great teachers who kind of discovered this path and left the teachings behind for us. But until then, Buddha is any other spiritual guru. He's nice guy, leave a few things behind, but you don't know for sure. But once the path, once you deepen your practice, then you say, wow, okay, he's just not a regular teacher. It's really out of this world. It's an amazing karma just to be in contact with him. Amazing, awesome karma that we have to be able to bow to Buddha, to bow to turn our mind to what the Buddha is, a fully enlightened being. This is not messing around. Yeah. Otherwise you think, so, just another spiritual guru, whatever. Everybody's enlightened these days. Yeah. Not quite. And when you see that, as the same as in China, and when you bow and you meet these teachers, you reflect on it. It's true. When you fully reflect on the blessings of the Buddha, you have tears in your eyes when you bow to him. Yeah. You understand the depth of his understanding, perfectly conduct and understanding. Yeah, not more, not less. Yeah? And fully enlightened in every aspect. It's hard to get our head, but as you practice and when the practice deepens, you come to appreciate what these terms mean. Yeah? And that's why sometimes, to also brighten up the mind, it's just reflect on the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. What does that mean? The perfect enlightened being. What does it mean, the blessed one? What does it mean when it talks about the Dhamma? Encouraging investigation, leading inwards, and to be experienced individually by the wise. The Dhamma is not something you can pass on to another person, it's something that you have to realize for yourself. Yeah. And once you get a taste, understand, realize some Dhamma in yourself, you realize, how precious, how wonderful these things are. But until then, yes, fair enough, faith is something you cannot force. It has to come together through the right conditions. Yeah, it's something that you also have to train. You have to be open to it, to investigate. So those are the 5 hindrances that you may encounter, or you definitely will encounter from time to time. And just to understand them, to know. And then, sometimes, what I just went through is just kind of a standard approach to the different hindrances. But a lot of time is, understand those hindrances in your own experience. What is greed? How does greed express itself to you? What do you think about when you're in a greedy mood? This could be memories, fond memories of the holidays, relationships you had, certain places you went, or whatever. How does that come up to you? And then you find different ways to kind of counteract that. Okay? So kind of really get to know these mental states, not to shy away from them, get to know these states, and find out how you can work with them. Work with them in a way that you can steer towards more wholesome states. Work with them in a way that you can calm the mind down. Okay? So have this kind of openness, this curiosity, the ability to investigate, to understand, and to know. Yeah, and that's obviously that's the essence of meditation, and not to be completely peaceful and blind, not to kind of force your mind on an object. And this openness to investigate different states of mind to come up. This ability to kind of steer the mind towards wholesome states. Yeah. To work with the mind, to let go of unwholesome states, and to cultivate and maintain wholesome states. And that's the definition of right effort. Yeah. If you're feeling tired, then just kind of rouse energy and start walking. But if you're feeling restless, then find ways to calm the mind down. Okay? So there's not one way to approach meditation. You do this every day. It's different ways. How am I feeling today? Energetic, restless, tired, pissed off? And what things should I do to encourage wholesome states of mind to arise? Okay? So I offer those, the 5 hindrances and their antidotes, and also this kind of encouragement to investigate, to understand, to know your mental states as they rise and fall away. Okay, we're all together.